In just hours, we'll be hearing the closing arguments in the Delphi murders trial. Defense attorneys for Richard Allen rested their case today. Allen is charged with killing Abby Williams and Libby German back in February of 2017. Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock. We have now heard the last testimony as the jury prepares to review this case and then render a verdict. Our Samantha Johnson was in the courtroom again today. She's breaking down what we've learned and what comes next.
Scott, the quote of the day came from Special Judge Frances Gull when she told the jury just after 2:15 Wednesday afternoon, quote, "Ladies and gentlemen, you've now heard all the testimony in this case. So now all that remains, the closing arguments from both sides before the jury is tasked with making a decision in this case." Wednesday was scheduled to be the final day of testimony from the defense. But first thing this morning, defense attorney Brad Rosie told the court the defense rests. So we heard from 3 witnesses called by the state in rebuttal, and most of that discussion involved the final witness called in this case, Dr. John Martin, a psychiatrist who met with Richard Allen in prison. He told the jurors he met weekly with Allen last April and May after Allen was diagnosed as psychotic. But Dr. Martin said by early May, Allen showed no signs of psychosis, and that's important because that's the same time frame Allen confessed to killing Abby Williams and Libby German. But in court Wednesday, the defense played a video of Richard Allen from June of last year receiving medical treatment inside the prison. He was restrained and seemed dazed, confused, emotionless, and was barely responding to the people around him. After that, Dr. Martin never really gave a good answer when asked if that video makes him reconsider his thoughts that Allen was not psychotic anymore. The jury weighed in too, asking if it's possible that Allen could have slipped in and out of psychosis within that 24-hour period, to which Dr. Martin answered yes. In all, we've heard testimony from 64 witnesses and heard about nearly 400 exhibits during the 17 days of testimony. So on Thursday, each side in this case will have about 2.5 hours for closing arguments inside the Carroll County Courthouse. Bob Siegel, Emily Longnecker, and I will be here, and you can follow along with live updates throughout the day at WTHR.com/Delphi. In Carroll County, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
So we have now heard the defense's case, but was it enough to raise reasonable doubt? I asked our legal analyst Katie Jackson-Lindsay tonight during our Delphi debrief.
I do think that they have. I mean, the biggest things that the state had would have been first starting with those eyewitnesses. None of those witnesses identified Richard Allen. Not a single one of those witnesses from the bridge pointed to him and said, "That's the guy I saw on the bridge." I think that that was very impactful without them even having to put on witnesses to refute that fact. And then we heard a lot of testimony about his mental state as it relates to those confessions. Those confessions are a big part of the state's case. I would argue they are the state's case. And we heard from the defense witnesses saying that he made those confessions when he was in a state of delirium. He made those confessions under very trying, challenging conditions that would cause anyone to lose their mind. And so I think they were effective in that regard.
So you can see more from our Delphi debrief show. It's over on WTHR+. That is an in-depth look at this trial. Our Bob Siegel, Samantha Johnson, and our legal expert break down the major developments from court weeknights at 10 o'clock. You can stream this show on demand right now. WTHR+ is our free streaming app. You can get it on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku.